What's going on, guys? I consider myself a jack of all trades, but my name's Jeff, so welcome back to Jeff of All Trades. Today we're going to be going over the Smith&Wesson M&P 2.0. Now this is the Performance Center Core Edition. It's got a few modifications to it, but this will work with any Smith&Wesson M&P 2.0. None of the other little bells and whistles on this thing matter. So I'm super excited about this gun. I love the way it fires. I love the weight of it. It's my favorite full-size pistol that I have. And I think in one of my future videos, I'm going to do a comparison between this one, the CZ10, and my Glock 17. So look forward to that. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. Today we're going to be talking about how to take this gun apart, the oil points for it. I'm going to do a really quick clean on it, and we're going to put everything back together. Let's get right into it. Getting right into it, this is how to take apart the Smith&Wesson M&P 2.0. So the first thing you want to do before you take apart any gun, press the magazine release, get that magazine out there and make sure it's empty, and pull that slide back and make sure there is nothing in that chamber. Once it's done, you're ready to take down the rest of the weapon. First thing you want to do is pull the slide all the way back and initiate the slide lock. On the slide you'll see a notch cut out here for the slide lock and a notch cut out right here for the release to swing into. Pull the slide back all the way and push up on that slide lock. You'll hear it click in. That slide will stay locked back. All you need to do now is flip this down until it's in that position. Release the slide while hanging onto it so it doesn't fly off. Depress the trigger. Of course, we have ensured it was empty already. And that'll release your slide altogether. You can take your frame and put it down. Next thing we want to do is get this spring out of there. Put pressure towards this end of it, towards the muzzle. It'll fall right off the barrel itself. And then to get the barrel out, you simply give a little bit of pressure on the barrel itself right here. You can see it lift up and release completely from the frame. You take that out, and then this is your slide. Nothing more to do with that. And that's the complete teardown of the Smith&Wesson M&P 2.0. All right, now that it's all clean, we're going to get right into the oil points and then how to put this bad lad all back together. I do want to let it be known that since I did just clean it with a lubricating oil, if you skip that part for whatever reason, you're going to see a little bit of residual oil like this on there, maybe a little bit on the trigger if it's depressed and comes down on it. That's not the initial oil that I'm putting on it now. That is simply this lubricating oil. This is actually a lubricating oil. If you clean with this spray and then put it back together and wipe off a minimal amount, it actually alleviates you having to do oil points for this gun. And I do that a lot when I'm cleaning my guns, either on the range or in a hurry. Maybe I'll just spray a little bit of this on there, wipe it down on the parts that don't need too much and wipe all the excess gunk off, and then put it back together. It's good to go. If you're done oiling your weapon and you're not using the lubricating spray like that, and you let it rest and everything else, if you're seeing this type of pooling up when you're done oiling your gun, you have used too much oil. So you want to make sure that you don't have this type of pooling. And we're going to get into that once I get into the oil points, how serious it is to put just a drop on and then wipe it off. And you're going to have plenty of oil on this gun to make it reliable exactly when you need it. So getting right into it, we'll start with the frame. The good thing that I want to look for, if this is a gun that you've used for quite a while, you're just now getting into cleaning it, taking it apart, playing with it a little bit, you want to get into looking for the wear points on any metal in there. So for an example, so right in here, you see the wearing, the different color, the discoloration of the metal. On the other side, you see the same thing. These are all indications that that's metal on metal rubbing, and that's where you're going to need some oil. So if you ever, when in doubt, just go ahead and look for those wear points. That's a good rule of thumb, and actually, going off the frame, that's exactly where I'm going to be oiling today. So as I've said in the past, with my other videos that I've posted for my oiling and cleaning, all you want to do is tip the oil upside down and let gravity do its work. One drop. That is all you need. So I'm going to put a drop there, just touch it, get another drop on that rail, and then we'll put another drop on the back, and then one there. I'm not even squeezing that oil to show you how little I'm putting on there. Not even squeezing it. Letting gravity do its job. And then I'm going to take one of these, it's actually the hops again, but these are the patches. They're just cotton patches. You can use a microfiber cloth. You can use your finger, which I've used in other videos. But just kind of rub it in. It's exactly where it's supposed to go. And you don't have to go only on this rail. If a little bit goes on another piece of metal, you see there's a little bit of wear there, so I'm just going to kind of carry this oil over onto here. If you end up getting it on something else, it's not going to hurt anything. The only thing that will hurt, in my opinion, you're going to find people that disagree with me, is when you use too much oil. You use too much oil, you're going to get things, I already talked about it, but you're going to get things gunking up, and you're going to get dirt and sand where you're not going to want it to be, and that's going to give you problems in the future. And then that's it. We'll move right on to the spring here. Now, if you are cleaning, you saw me clean the spring real quick. A lot of people don't do it. I don't even think you really need to. I like to do it because if the gun's already apart, why not clean everything that's associated with the gun? And all I'm going to do is take a little bit of oil, one drop in the center there. I mean, this spring is moving on the buffer itself, right? So why not give it as little friction as possible? Then go ahead and wipe that off. Now, when you're wiping off the oil, you're actually not wiping all of it off. You're wiping off that excess, that the dripping amounts. You're wiping off everything that doesn't need to be on there. As you can tell with the frame, we wiped off all that oil, but you can see just how shiny, oops, you can see just how shiny this is back here and here, right? Different than it was before. That oil is still on there, and it's going to remain on there. So don't be afraid to wipe it off. You're not getting rid of all your hard work. Next, I like to go right into the barrel. I like to put 1 drop on the barrel itself, and then just go ahead and rub it in. Now this barrel is constantly sliding in and out of that slide, and you could argue getting the most amount of work out of this entire gun here. So you want to make sure that that barrel is really well lubricated. Actually, if I can get in closer, yeah, you can see the lines at the front of this barrel here. Hard to see with the chrome barrel, but you can see these rings around the front of the barrel. That's where every time it comes back, it seats in that slide there. So that's just common. You can actually see there you go. You can see a color difference between the chrome here and the chrome here. You see that line? That's because this is constantly sliding in and out. Every time it rechambers a new round and that slide slides back on that barrel, it's sliding on here. So you want to make sure that it's lubricated because you want it to be as frictionless as possible. We will wipe that off as well. And I like to put another drop in here. Rub that in. And then just use the access to rub all the nook and crannies around here. This is where your spring is going to sit. There we go. I'll use a cotton cloth to get this off here, just because it is in such a tight area. And there we have it. Go ahead and wipe off that barrel. Make it nice and shiny again. And that's the barrel. Now for the slide, it's going to be very similar as the frame of the gun was. What you want to focus on here is wear points. So you can see this bar right here going all the way back to this firing pin. This has got a lot of wear on it. And then you also want to focus inside of these rails here. There's a rail right here that runs all the way up. And then there's the same rail on the other side that runs all the way through here. You want to make sure there's good oil on there as well. Now this already has, you can actually see the glistening on it. I am not going to re-oil this because it got the oil from the cleaning. But this rail in here, you can see how shiny it is. There we go. You see right in there? That's where you want to have just 1 drop of oil, put it in the center, and then go ahead and take one of your cloths, fold it in half, and just kind of rub it in like that. Then the next thing is just take 1 drop right there on that center bar. See that there? Go ahead and rub it into place. Take my towel and wipe off the excess. But again, you can see the shiny to it. We still got plenty of oil on there. That's all you need, I'm telling you. Less is more when it comes to this oil, folks. Less is definitely more. What I'm showing you right now is just the way I like to do things. If you have a different way of doing something, or if you have a different method for oiling your guns, even if it's not the M&P 2.0, even if it's not a Smith & Wesson at all, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below and let me know how you oil your guns any differently than I do. And there you have it for the oil points for the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. Now that we have the M&P all oiled, let's put it back together. We're going to put it back together in the exact opposite order that we took it apart. So go ahead and grab your slide, flip that upside down in your hand, and grab your barrel. And with these notches facing up towards you, slide the barrel first into this big hole of your slide. Once it's through a little bit, go ahead and drop that barrel down. Push on the barrel until it seats in place. You'll hear that click. And that's exactly where it's supposed to be, nice and seated. Now you're going to want to take this spring here, and you'll see 2 different sides. This side is the flat side, just flat, shiny metal where it's going to be sitting on the barrel. and then this side here with the blue, and then your butt end that actually goes through and sits in the bottom portion of the slide here. You want to make sure this blue end of the spring and the end that has this rubber butt on it goes in first. Go ahead and slide that in first, and you'll find out pretty quick if it's not going to fit. And that's exactly how it should look. Now that you got the slide all put back together with the barrel in place, go ahead and grab your frame and line up these rails with these notches on the back of your slide here. When you line those up and it's flush with the frame, you're going to slide the slide far back enough that the notch in the slide will line up with this swing arm here so you can lock it into place. So go ahead and pull it back, lock it into place, put the slide forward. Go ahead and pull the slide back without putting a magazine in. Pull the slide back, pull the trigger for a function test, and you're good to go. Everything's put back together exactly how it's supposed to be. So there you have it. How to take it down, the oil points, and how to put this thing back together. As you can tell, I really love this weapon. It's been great to me, and it's a really good looking gun too. Do you agree with the same oil points that I have for this? Do you have this gun and have your own opinion on it? Do you like it or not like it? Leave all that information down in the comment section down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you aren't already. And of course, as always, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.